Maadong agas tanan. Good day, everyone. Today, I will present the results of a study transforming internal audit in Philippine local governments post-pandemic perspectives. Let us dive in. In a world increasingly defined by VUCA, the transformation of internal audit functions has become not merely an option but a strategic imperative. Traditional audit methodologies are no longer adequate to address the fast evolving risk, technological disruptions, and rising governance expectations faced by both public and private sector organizations. The COVID-19 pandemic served as a critical inflection point, accelerating shifts within the public sector and disrupting conventional internal audit practices. It compelled organizations to embrace more adaptive, digital, and risk focused approaches. Yet, despite these observable changes, empirical studies examining how internal audit transformations have concretely manifested, particularly in the post pandemic era, remain limited. This underscores the need for a deeper investigation into how internal audit functions are adapting to the new realities, especially within local government settings. In the Philippines, local government units are mandated to establish an internal audit function as part of the good governance practices. However, recent empirical research on internal auditing in the Philippine public sector, particularly within LGUs, remains scarce. Earlier studies revealed that many municipalities lack functioning internal audit services, largely due to overlapping and sometimes conflicting legal mandates. Moreover, comprehensive evaluations of internal audit transformation in local settings are still limited. This study addresses the gap by examining the extent of internal audit transformation and its interrelated components in two municipalities in the province of Romblon, San Agustin, and Ojongan, as they were the only municipality that has functional internal audit office or unit. We have three research questions which will be answered on the following slides. To address these research questions, the study employed a descriptive correlational research design integrating both descriptive and inferential statistic techniques. Data were gathered through validated survey instruments specifically developed to assess the extent of internal audit transformation within local government units. The survey focused on four key dimensions: standards and frameworks, roles and functions, methodologies, tools, and techniques. The development of the instrument was grounded in a robust theoretical foundation, drawing from established models of internal audit evolution and transformation. These models informed the structure and content of the questionnaire. Content validity was ensured through expert review by professionals in internal auditing, political science, and public administration. Reliability testing yielded a callback alpha of 0.765, indicating an acceptable level of internal consistency. The study used a purposive sampling to target key informants in internal audit processes, including local chief executives, internal auditors, department heads, and DLG field officers. A total population sampling approach was used to ensure only relevant individuals contributed to the data collection processes. Quantitative data was collected through printed survey questionnaire using a 4-point Likert scale and analyzed using SPSS. Participants were informed about the study's purpose and provided informed consent. Data was treated as confidential and handled in accordance with the Philippine Data Privacy Act of 2012 and research ethics standards. No personal identifiers were gathered during the data collection process. The findings and discussion is divided in three parts to answer the three research questions. The study revealed significant difference in perceptions of internal audit transformation between San Agustin and Anjongan. Anjongan respondents rated internal audit frameworks and tools and techniques the highest, reflecting a strong agreement with the effective application of these aspects. San Agustin's ratings were lower, particularly in methodologies and standards and frameworks. This difference may point to variation in resource availability, training, or the integration of internal audit practices across the LGU. The findings suggest the need for tailored intervention in San Agustin to enhance alignment with internal audit standards, methodologies, and tools, while Johan could focus on sustaining and advancing their strong practices. Comparatively, the municipality of San Agustin has an overall mean of 2.94 and standard deviation of 0.549, which achieved the agreed level of agreement, while Municipality of Ajongan has an overall mean of 3.47 and standard deviation of 0.470, which achieved the strongly agreed level of agreement. These findings align with the three stages of model of internal audit transformation proposed by Taran et al., indicating that Ajongan has progressed towards strategic alignment phase, whereas San Agustin remains within the risk management or compliance phase. The higher levels of agreement among respondents from Ajongan, particularly in the areas of tools and standards, suggest transition toward more advanced stages of internal audit maturity consistent with Audit 3.0 or 4.0 frameworks described by Rosa et al. These stages emphasize the integration of digital technology, standardized process, and data-driven decision-making as critical components of modernized and value-adding internal audit function. The Mann-Whitney test showed significant difference in internal audit transformation, implementation, and evaluation between Ojongan and San Agustin. This difference could be attributed to varying levels of resources, technical expertise, and commitment to governance reforms. Jongan may have robust systems, well-trained personnel, or access to external support, enabling effective internal audit practices, while San Agustin may face constraints that limit its capacity to implement or and evaluate comprehensively. This highlights the need for broader support mechanisms to address systematic challenges faced by both municipalities. Significant difference observed between the two municipalities highlight disparities in organizational capacity and maturity, consistent with the growth cycle model proposed by McNamee and McNamee. Ojong and higher score suggests it may have reached more advanced phase such as reinvention or institutionalization, characterized by strategic integration and continuous improvement. In contrast, San Agustin appeared to remain in professional stage where efforts are primarily focused on building a foundational capacity and formalizing defense audit structures and processes. Local government units, particularly those in the early stages of internal audit transformation, should consider analyzing and adapting the best practices demonstrated by the municipality of Ojoa. The Spearman's rank order correlation test reveals strong positive relationship among key dimensions of internal audit transformation, including standards and frameworks, roles and functions, methodologies, and tools and techniques. Notably, a significant correlation was observed between adherence to audit standards and defined roles of internal auditors, emphasizing the interdependence of structure and function within audit systems. The findings also underscore the critical importance of aligning methodological approaches within established audit frameworks to support coherent and effective transformation efforts. Additionally, the strong association between methodologies and tools highlights their intrinsic connection in enabling efficient and responsive audit processes. Collectively, these results enforce the necessity of an integrated and systematic approach to internal audit transformation in local government settings. The study underscores the critical role of internal audit frameworks, rules, methodologies, and tools in modernization of internal audit function within local government units. It highlights the need for organization to holistically integrate these components into operational governance systems, emphasizing that advancement in one area, such as tools and techniques, can positively reinforce others. The findings affirm the interdependence among audit rules, methodologies, and tools, aligning with the conceptual perspectives of Taran, Ross et al. And McNamee studies. Moreover, the study reveals a differentiated landscape of internal audit transformation within Ojongan, demonstrating more advanced and implementation compared to San Agustin by validating existing models of internal audit transformation and offering empirical insights from a decentralized Southeast Asian context. The study contributes to the broader literature on public sector reform. This study confirms the transformational progress of internal audit function in selected Philippine local governments. The research highlights strategic integration of internal audit standards and frameworks, roles and functions, methodologies, tools and techniques towards internal audit transformation. Disparity exists due to ongoing challenges in capacity and institutional readiness. National and regional support is encouraged to be institutionalized for knowledge sharing, capacity building, and policy development. And future research should broaden the geographic scope and use longitudinal methods to assess the sustainability and impact of internal audit transformation. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Paalam.